respected chief guest, Mr. Vijay Kumar, the DSP of Katpadi Division. First of all, I thank you very much for taking your valuable time to come and be with our young children and bless them. Katpadi Sunbeam is quite famous for sports, mainly because sports is something which gets cultivated right at the beginning in the KG level. It was beautiful, heartening to see how much of enthusiasm and interest was shown by the KG children themselves when they participated in various programs. The Sunbeam management is quite keen on the overall development of every child who comes inside the premises. It's a remarkable thing that so many parents have come to see, relish, and rejoice when their children receive cups and medals on this wonderful stage through the hands of this excellent sportsman-like personality, the DSP. We have very long cherished dreams of becoming one of the best sports cultivating centers in the entire country. As you would have noticed, some of our children in the senior school levels have gone up to the level of nationals. And I must proudly say that even now, just now, there is a state level event taking place in Madurai in the Velammal campus, where more than 14 of our athletes have got selected and gone and are participating. And already we have won 2 medals today morning. Both of them girls. So winning sports medals and accolades at a state level has become a habit for Sunbeam now. And this is what will exactly push us to go to national levels and reach international levels. When I look at these young kids, I get reminded of my school days in a very famous, of course, a school famous for both sports and academics. We used to be district toppers and we also used to be state level winners in sports. The school name is Carmel High School, Nagarkoil. And we, as I was admitted there, in fact, I was admitted by a police inspector called Mr. Cruz Michael, who was a good friend of my father. In fact, he was a legendary officer. Everybody in our district will know him for his honesty and integrity. So when he joined me and when I entered that school, the first sight that I saw is something which is memorable. I cannot forget. Everywhere throughout the school, that's also a school with more than 25 acres of land, a big campus. Everywhere we saw, it was a boys' school. There were groups of boys playing some game or other in all the parts of all the grounds in the school. So playing was a way of life in Carmel School. In the same way, now with this advent of digital living, the cell phone domination, and the social media distraction and intervention, it has become inevitable for every child to keep away from the distraction and get an attraction towards sports. Sports has become much more important than the yesteryears. All parents must realize that. There are several parents who hand over the cell phones to the children to just make them quiet and they look after their jobs. They don't bother. But it's a dangerous development. Please make it a point to allot time for sports. Encourage the children to play. Because as you know, the physical activity of the present generation has decreased quite a bit, which is a very, very dangerous sign. We come to know from doctors that chronic diseases have started coming up from young ages, which is quite unnatural for a child. Obesity, particularly very fat children, due to physical inaction, is quite prevalent. Though we can't change the whole world, at least inside the Sunbeam premises, I request all the parents to take a vow to please allow your children as much as possible, and please allot time as much as possible for sports. Because sports doesn't affect studies. If anybody is under the impression that if a child begins to spend time on sports, the studies will get affected, it's totally wrong. There is scientific finding that if a child begins to do physically active sports, and if a child begins to do anything that is physically active, the brain becomes more active, and all the nervous endings in the brain becomes brighter, more active, energetic, enriched, enlivened. And there is so much vitality and vigor that spreads into the brain the moment the children begin to play. So there is a very strong correlation between brain and game. Please remember that. My humble request to you is only that. In fact, when we asked our chief guest for a biodata, he said very humbly, there is nothing big to introduce about me. Please abstain from doing that. I am just a deputy superintendent of police. I am doing my job. I do not want to be highlighted in a big way. But then I come to know from reliable sources, truthful sources, that he is extremely popular for his honesty, care for the poor, support for the affected people, and simplicity in being available for anybody at any time. It's a remarkable good time for the Katpadi division that we have such a wonderful officer with us. I am so happy that he is with us today, and I leave him with you for you to listen to him. You are going to listen to somebody who is a good police officer. Thank you.